November 11th, 2022. A $32 billion company collapsed to zero in 10 days. Not months, not years, 10 days. Over 1 million users woke up to find their money gone, vanished. An $8 billion hole where their savings used to be. Imagine opening your banking app. Everything you've saved, just empty. How does the third largest crypto exchange in the world evaporate faster than morning fog? Here's what makes it stranger. The founder was on Forbes 30 Under 30, had lunch with world leaders. Tom Brady called him a visionary. Stephen Curry trusted him with their money. Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, was worth $26 billion. Then, nothing. This is the story of FTX, a company that promised to revolutionize finance, a movement that claimed to save the world, a house built so high in the clouds, nobody noticed there was no foundation beneath it. March 5th, 1992, Stanford, California. Sam Bankman-Fried was born to two law professors who taught him a simple philosophy: do the most good for the most people, at any cost. By age 12, he was debating utilitarian ethics online. While other kids played video games, Sam calculated how to maximize human happiness. Everything was a math problem, even morality. 2012, MIT, junior year, physics major. A philosopher named William McCaskill sat down with young Sam over lunch. He pitched him on something called Effective Altruism. The idea? Make as much money as possible, then give it all away. Earning to give, they called it. To Sam, it felt simply right. Finally, a way to turn greed into virtue. But here's the question nobody asked. If the end justifies the means, where exactly do the means stop? After MIT, Sam went to Jane Street Capital, a trading firm. He donated half his salary to charity, slept 4 hours a night, drove a Toyota Corolla, the Boy Scout of Wall Street. 2017. Crypto was exploding. Bitcoin wasn't just currency anymore, it was a revolution. Sam saw an opportunity. Bitcoin was trading 30% higher in Japan than in the US. Pure arbitrage. Moving $25 million per day, buying low, selling high, pocketing the difference. He founded Alameda Research in Berkeley, a trading firm. Almost everyone who joined in those early days was an effective altruist. They weren't there to get rich. They were there to save the world. But saving the world, turns out, it takes a lot of money. And the house was just starting to rise. May 2019, FTX launches. Futures Exchange, a platform where anyone could trade crypto derivatives. Complicated financial instruments most people didn't understand. But Sam made it look easy. The growth? Unreal. July 2021, FTX raises $900 million at an $18 billion valuation. January 2022, another $400 million. Valuation? $32 billion. Over 1 million users in 3 years. $10 billion in daily trading volume. Think about that. 0 to $32 billion in less time than it takes to finish college. The media loved him. Forbes called him a wonderkind, a genius. He slept on a beanbag, had 10 roommates, albeit in a Bahamas penthouse. It felt unambitious to only care about what impacted me, Sam told reporters. He testified before Congress, paid $135 million for naming rights to the Miami Heat arena. Tom Brady became a spokesman, Gisele Bündchen, Steph Curry, Shaquille O'Neal. Every commercial screamed, FTX, you in? Everyone was in. Sequoia Capital invested $214 million. Ontario Teachers Pension Fund, SoftBank, BlackRock. The smartest money in the world was betting on Sam. But here's what nobody saw. FTX and Alameda Research, Sam's trading firm, they were supposed to be separate. Church and state. Customer money, here. Trading money, there. Only they weren't separate at all. The house was rising, higher, higher, and the air was getting thinner. But rockets don't rise forever.
November 2nd, 2022. CoinDesk, a crypto news site, published something strange. Alameda Research's balance sheet showed something off. Most of their assets? FTT tokens, FTX's own made-up coin. Imagine if your bank's reserves were mostly loyalty points they printed themselves. Journalists started asking questions. How intertwined are FTX and Alameda really? Behind closed doors? Very. Customer deposits, billions of dollars, were being secretly funneled to Alameda to cover losses, to make risky bets, to keep the whole thing afloat. Like using your neighbor's savings to pay your mortgage, then your credit cards, then your gambling bets. November 6th, Changpeng Zhao, CZ, CEO of Binance, FTX's biggest rival, tweeted, "We're selling all our FTT, $580 million worth." One tweet. The house started shaking. FTT's price began to fall. $25, $20, $15. Users got nervous. If Binance is pulling out, should we? Within 72 hours, customers tried to withdraw $6 billion. A bank run. Digital. Instant. And FTX couldn't pay. November 8th. Binance offered to buy FTX, a lifeline. For one day, everyone exhaled. November 9th. Binance backed out. Mishandled customer funds, they said. The wall wasn't just thin anymore. It was gone.
November 10th, 2022. FTX froze all withdrawals. No warning. No explanation. Millions of people. Life savings, retirement funds, college tuition. Locked. Sam tweeted, "FTX is fine. Assets are fine." Except they weren't. Behind the scenes, at least $1 billion of customer money had already vanished. But Sam kept going, scrambling, trying to raise emergency funds from Justin's son, founder of Tron. Nobody bit. November 11th, FTX filed for bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried resigned as CEO. John J. Ray III, the man who cleaned up Enron, took over. His assessment? "In my career, I've never seen such a complete failure of corporate controls. No board meetings, no balance sheets. Never audited because they were private. Company funds used to buy employees' homes, real estate, donations, political campaigns. Unauthorized transactions between $473 million and $659 million drained from FTX wallets as the company collapsed. Someone was looting the corpse." And then came the interviews. November 30th, Sam sat down with Andrew Ross Sorkin at the New York Times Dealbook Summit. "Look, I screwed up," he said. Casual, almost shrugging. He told a reporter his ethics talk was mostly a front. That regulation was just PR. The boy who wanted to save the world? He was playing a game. And he lost.
December 12, 2022, the Bahamas. Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested, charged with wire fraud, securities fraud, money laundering, campaign finance violations. Federal prosecutors said he devised a scheme to defraud FTX customers and investors from the year the company was founded. From the beginning. December 21st, Caroline Ellison, CEO of Alameda, Sam's ex-girlfriend, pleaded guilty. Gary Wang, FTX's CTO, Sam's co-founder, pleaded guilty. They flipped, cooperated. And the story they told
Up to $9 billion in customer deposits were missing. Think about that number. $9 billion. Not lost. Taken. Customer money secretly sent to Alameda to cover trading losses, to buy real estate, to make political donations, over $5 million to Joe Biden's campaign alone, to buy a 7.6% stake in Robinhood. All of it with other people's money. In court, Carolyn Ellison testified that Sam's messy hair and casual clothes, well calculated. Part of the image, the brand. The genius savior, marketing. Even his effective altruist friends had been warned about Sam years earlier, in 2018, that he was unethical, duplicitous, negligent. They ignored it. Too much money on the table. The FTX Future Fund, his charity, had committed $160 million to save the world. Where did that money come from? Stolen funds. Saving the world. By robbing everyone in it. The house was never real. It was always just air. November 11th, 2022. The day FTX died. Not with a bang, not with sirens. Just a line of text on a screen. Withdrawals suspended. No apology. No explanation. Employees found out from Twitter. Customers found out from error messages. The FTX Future Fund team resigned. All at once. The Miami Heat scrambled to remove FTX's name from their arena. BlockFi, a crypto lender FTX had bailed out months earlier, collapsed too. Dominoes. Bitcoin dropped 10% that day. The entire crypto market bled. Over 130 affiliated FTX companies filed for bankruptcy. Assets estimated between $10 and $50 billion. Liabilities, the same. Translation. Nothing left. Teachers who'd put pension money in. Students who'd saved for college. Parents who'd trusted the commercials. Tom Brady and Giselle? They'd taken equity instead of cash. $30 million for Tom. $18 million for Giselle. All FTT tokens. Now worth $0. And they still owed taxes on the phantom money. There was no farewell speech, no final message, just an empty inbox, and the sound of a million doors closing. The dream didn't explode. It evaporated, like it was never there at all.
The trial began October 2023. November 2nd, 2023, the jury found Sam Bankman-Fried guilty on all 7 counts: fraud, conspiracy, money laundering. Maximum sentence, 110 years. March 28, 2024, he was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison, ordered to forfeit $11 billion, money he never really had. But here's the thing. FTX's bankruptcy lawyers now say customers may actually get paid back. In full. Sounds good, right? Except they're being paid back in dollars. Bitcoin has soared 70% since the collapse. If people had just held their crypto, they'd have made a fortune. Instead, they lost years, opportunity, trust. And the celebrities? Tom Brady, Steph Curry, Naomi Osaka, Larry David, they're all being sued. They lent their credibility, the lawsuits claim. No due diligence, no disclosure. Brady's lawyers argue no reasonable consumer would confuse these for anything other than paid endorsements. But isn't that the point of celebrity endorsements? To make people trust you. Some settled quietly. Trevor Lawrence, Rob Gronkowski. Others are still fighting. The industry changed too. Crypto's Wild West era, over. Governments worldwide rush to create new regulations.
Exchanges now have to prove reserves, show balance sheets, things that should have been basic. The effective altruism movement? Fractured, discredited. Turns out, when your poster boy is a fraudster, people start asking questions. Was this always about the money? The house fell, but the debris scattered everywhere. Let's go back to the beginning. November 11th, 2022. $32 billion to zero. 10 days. We started with a question. How does that happen? Now we know. It happens when we stop asking questions. When someone's philosophy is so pretty, we forget to check if the building has a foundation. Sam once said saving the world isn't about acting in a way that feels appropriate. He was right about that, but maybe it should be. A former FTX employee later said, "We all believed we were doing good." It's terrifying how long you can believe a lie if it's wrapped in a mission. That's the real danger. Not the fraud, not even the money. It's the story we tell ourselves. That we're special. That the rules don't apply. That if the goal is noble enough, the means don't matter. At 12 years old, Sam Bankman-Fried was debating utilitarianism online. He believed, truly believed, he could calculate morality. Maybe that was the problem. You can't reduce people to numbers. You can't math your way to virtue. And when you try, you build a house made of air. FTX is gone. Sam is in prison. Billions were lost. And maybe, some will be returned. But trust? That's not coming back. We wanted to believe in a boy genius, a world where getting rich and doing good were the same thing. We built the house with him. Maybe the question isn't, how did Sam fool us? Maybe it's, why did we want to be fooled? Because somewhere, right now, someone else is building, higher and higher, into thin air.